Hello and welcome to the E&F section of the National 5 video tutorials. Today we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting algebraic fractions. To add together two algebraic fractions, we have to use what I like to call the smiley face method, sometimes also called cross multiplication. If I draw that smiley face in between my two fractions, it gives me a nice template of how to find the final answer. For the bottom half of the fraction, all I need to do is multiply my bottom two terms, b times d, which is bd. To get the top half of the fraction, I need to multiply ad, a times d is ad. I've got an add sign in the middle, and then I'm going to multiply b and c for the other cross. And that's my final answer, ad plus bc over bd. If this was a takeaway question or a subtraction, the answer would be exactly the same, except in between AD and BC, there would be a minus sign instead of a plus sign. So that's something you'll need to remember later on in the video. Bear that in mind. Here are 4 examples for you to try out that same method. Make sure you pause the video because the answers will follow shortly. So here are your answers. The first one was PT plus SR over ST. The second example was 56 plus GH over 8G. The third example was 6x plus 4WY divided by 3W. And the last example was EF squared plus 6M over EM. Okay, so here's a more complicated example, something that you might see in a final exam. It's exactly the same method that we're going to use, except our multiplications are a little bit more difficult this time. So again, I'm going to put in my smiley face. For the bottom of the fraction, I need to multiply together x minus 1 times x plus 5. For the top two parts, I need to do 2 multiplied by x plus 5. And take away, because there's a takeaway sign in between these two fractions, take away 3 times x minus 1. I'm going to do this next part in blue just to distinguish it from the last line. 2 times x plus 5 gives us 2x plus 10. Minus 3 times x minus 1 gives us minus 3x and plus 3. If I perform FOIL on the bottom half of this fraction, I get x squared plus 5x minus x, take away 5. And to finish this off, what we need to do is gather our x's and units. So in the case of the top half of the fraction, we've got 2x's, take away 3x's, which gives us minus x. We've got 10 add on 3, which gives us plus 13. And on the bottom half of the fraction, we've got x squared. There's no other x squared terms. We've got plus 5x take away x, which is 4x. So x squared plus 4x. And then we've got minus 5 on the end there. It stays the same. Okay, so that's our final answer. Minus x plus 13 all over x squared plus 4x minus 5. Quite a tough example. It's now your turn to try these examples. So give these a shot. Pause the video because the answers will be coming up shortly. Best of luck. Okay, so the answer to the first question is 3x plus 19 all over x squared plus x minus 6. And the answer to the second one is 8x minus 22 all over x squared minus 2x minus 48. If you weren't able to get those answers, make sure you consult your maths teacher or come along to a supported study session Tuesday or Wednesday after school. Finally, if you'd like a little bit more practice with these algebraic fractions, then there are some examples on the SQA past papers. Make sure you go to the SQA website and download those past papers for free. If you're not sure about any of the questions that were in this tutorial video, make sure you consult your maths teacher or you come along to a supported study session Tuesdays or Wednesdays after school. Thanks for listening.